UniKL. Kita terbilang. Wow, kita datang. Wow, kita datang. Wow, kita terbilang. Wow, kita terbilang. Mencari peluang. Mencari peluang. Menjadi cemerlang. Menjadi cemerlang. UniKL. Wow, UniKL. UniKL. Wow, UniKL. Satu amanat kita junjung sama, tak kira di darat, laut dan udara. Cium tangan mama papa, tanda janji, kata pasti di kota, buktikan pada mereka. Bawa akal, jadi bekal, ikut padi untuk berisi selamat jiwa. Di kandung kental, menyerah kalah, tolak ke sisi. Wow, kita datang, wow, kita datang, wow, kita terbilang, wow, kita terbilang. Mencari peluang, mencari peluang, menjadi cemerlang, menjadi cemerlang. UniKL, wow, UniKL, UniKL, wow, UniKL. Satu matlamat, terbang gapai mimpi, renangi era baru, kejar misi frekuensi, pengemudi angkatan, nahoda kemajuan, jauh manapun ada ciptakan menjadi nyata. Tetap cekal, jangan lalai, tetap kental, jangan lolai, setinggi manapun akan capai, kita melonjak dari lantai. Wow, kita datang, wow, kita datang, wow, kita terbilang, wow, kita terbilang. Mencari peluang, menjadi cemerlang, menjadi cemerlang. UniKL, wow, UniKL, wow, UniKL, wow, UniKL, wow.
Okay, Assalamualaikum. Apa khabar semua? Harap everyone at home yang sambil mendengar kami, selamat datang. Nama saya Adi Zalzamin. I'll be the moderator for today punya Sembang UNI, dan kita ada topik yang sangat menarik. Tajuknya adalah Game Development Now or Never. Okay, dan dengan kita our special guest today, kita ada dua orang. Firstly, I'd like to introduce Associate Professor Dr. Dalla Abdul Ghani, our program coordinator for our new Bachelor in Game Development program. Selamat datang, Dr. D.
Yes, thank you Ali, terima kasih. Right.
Dan juga another very special guest, Industry Expert Alumni, Encik Silmi Izwan Simi. Selamat datang.
Assalamualaikum semua. Terima kasih kerana menjemput saya hari ini.
Yes.
So, untuk memperkenalkan sikit our both our guests, Dr. Dalan, he is one of our very true educator, expertise on animation, wayang kulit, dan juga our very topic today, game design. Okay. Also for Encik Silmi from Sony PlayStation Studio Malaysia, his title position, which I'm very curious juga, is called Environment Outsource Review Artist. Maybe Encik Silmi boleh start dengan explaining your current position as dekat Sony PlayStation Studio Malaysia.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Terima kasih sekali lagi kepada UniKL untuk kerana sudi menjemput saya lah hari ini untuk bagi sedikit perkongsian ilmu. So I will mostly talk in bahasa Melayu because it's much more easier for me. I hope it should be okay for everyone who's been watching it.
Silakan.
Okay. So berkenaan soalan daripada Cik Adi tadi, saya title job role saya sebenarnya adalah environment artist. Tapi position saya di Sony PlayStation Malaysia is outsource environment outsource review artist di mana sebenarnya ramai orang tak tahu, termasuk rasanya ramai orang tak tahu sebab position ni kat Malaysia masih kurang dan agak barulah. Tapi sebenarnya position ni apa yang position ni buat adalah dia review asset ataupun environment ataupun props daripada vendor-vendor. So position ni cuma ada dalam first big organisation. So contoh macam Blizzard ataupun Sony itself ataupun Bandai. So di mana dari company-company ni kita ada banyak outsource studio, which is kita akan subkan kerja-kerja sebab buat game bukan kerja 100-200 orang, buat game melibatkan ribu-ribu orang. So kita akan company-company ni akan outsource job-job ni, dan di mana saya berada dalam role saya ni adalah company yang luar, studio-studio luar, outsourcing studio, which is yang ambil kerja-kerja ni, dia akan buat kerja dan dia akan pass aset-aset tu kepada kami lah. Contoh dalam konteks ni adalah Sony Studio lah, dia akan pass pada Sony Studio, dan sebelum kita orang masukkan aset-aset dalam game, dia akan aset tu kena melalui saya lah, more like QC check lah. So saya akan pastikan aset-aset itu berada di standard yang memuaskan lah. Dan kami juga dan sebagai seorang yang dalam role ni macam ni, kami akan jumpa banyak masalah daripada segi technical issues ataupun creative issues kan. So kami perlu memberi nasihat ataupun solution kepada mereka. Contoh seperti color tak cantik ke, size technical specification not met ke. So kami perlu bagi point out kepada vendor-vendor ni, dan diorang perlu address benda-benda ni. So basically as a environment outsource review artist, kita adalah gatekeeper untuk pastikan quality game yang deliver tu adalah tinggi. So adakah itu menjawab soalan daripada Encik Adi? Ataupun ada yang belum?
Ya, betul.
Alright.
Sangat I think it's sangat-sangat interesting sebab honestly speaking, sebab walaupun saya main game jarang saya nampak this specific title as in bekerja. So itu saya sangat teruja tak sabar nak tanya apakah benda yang dibuat situ sebab yalah everyone knows Sony Studio PlayStation, Sony PlayStation kan. So but kerjaya dekat dalam tu is very interesting, and also we akan continue lah terus to our sembang-sembang pasal game development ni. Okay, since saya akan start dengan Cik Silmi lah, pasal game design development ni, what is actually game design or game development, dan what is the pipeline process untuk buat game?
Okay. So untuk menjawab persoalan ni lah, ramai yang confused apa itu, what is game design and what is game development. So actually game design is part of the process in the game development. That's to summarize it. Okay. So game design kita boleh pecahkan banyak bahagian, dan untuk game development kita pun boleh pecahkan banyak bahagian. Macam okay, sekarang kita akan ambil apakah itu game development. Game development adalah satu proses untuk buat game daripada kosong sampai publish. Okay, sampai end user. That's a game development. Then one part of the game development is game design. Dan di sini di mana game design ni pecah pula kepada beberapa disiplin. Okay, antaranya adalah buat konsep, production, dan contoh konsep termasuk dalam pre-production, production, buat asset, and then fuse, codings and stuff, and then post-production also. Game design ada terlibat dalam post-production. So untuk terangkan game design paling crucial sekali, paling banyak sekali guna adalah semasa pre-production pun ada, production pun ada. Masa pre-production, masa sebelum game tu wujud, daripada sebuah idea, game design akan keluarkan akan elaborate idea tu. Game designer akan elaborate idea tu. So mereka ni adalah orang yang akan design, contoh apakah karakter tu, macam mana dia bentuk karakter itu, macam mana environment itu dalam konteks sebagai environment artist, macam mana environment itu, macam mana player reaction, macam mana games tu run dalam environment tu. So ataupun jenis-jenis puzzle yang player kena selesaikan, dan juga objektif, apakah objektif game tu sendiri. So ini adalah part of the game designer punya responsibility lah. Okay, so untuk soalan yang tadi, pipeline dalam game design ni kan, dia dalam game design pipeline dia depends on disiplin macam saya cakap tadi. Tapi kalau dalam, saya boleh bagi general idea untuk pipeline in game development. So dalam game development kita boleh, dia agak similar dengan animation. Dia ada pre-production, production stage dan post-production. Dia cuma agak berbeza dengan animation di bahagian post-production, sebab game nowadays game tends to be a live service. So dia akan sentiasa update lah, which is live service means dia akan constantly update throughout it lifetime lah, sampai tak ada orang nak main game tu dah. So dalam pre-production kita boleh cakap pipeline dia ada proses pertama ialah conceptualization, which is bagi konsep art, prototyping kan. So bila benda tu semua dah ada mekanik dalam prototype maaf. Untuk prototyping, dalam prototyping ialah di mana game designer akan mencipta game mekanik. Dia akan keluarkan game mekanik yang roughly untuk game tu. Contoh macam inventory system, macam boss fight, ataupun macam mana survival punya mekanik untuk dalam sebuah game lah. So bila benda itu dah ada, orang kata base dia sudah ada, so boleh move on kepada production, which is kita mula refine benda-benda mekanik tadi, kita mula letak 3D model yang cantik, yang sesuai dengan game tu. Dan selepas tu untuk pipeline yang seterusnya masa production, kita teruskan kepada live testing dan iteration, which is kita akan smooth out all the bugs and everything, and then by doing testing kita dapat jumpa apa masalah-masalah yang bug yang player mungkin boleh exploit, dan which is akan ruin game mechanic dan ultimately akan ruin the game punya fun lah. Okay, and then lepas dah semua dah selesai, everything dah selesai, dan kita akan release the game. So which is akan masuk, game tu akan release kepada user. So user ni masa dah sampai kat user, kita masuk kepada phase post production lah. So di mana kita akan dapat tengok feedback daripada user, which is nowadays common kita boleh tengok exploit dekat YouTube kan, certain game macam loophole. So dalam post production kita akan patch game ni. So basically that's the general idea of the pipeline yang kita ikut dalam game development.
Okay, sangat-sangat very elaborate. Sebab yelah, saya pun dari bahagian animation, I understand animation pipeline lah, tapi tak pernah lagi masuk in game development. And to hear dengar pasal apa live apa tadi sebut untuk sentiasa live service tu quite interesting juga, sebab macam nak tahu like normally how many games orang, berapa banyak game company tu akan simpan sampai live service ni. Adakah it's memang sampai betul-betul tak ada orang main, atau even tinggal seorang pun adakah live service tu akan bergerak lagi?
Untuk live service dah saya explain lah. Live service ni basically dah masuk kepada business side lah, most on business side. So jangka hayat game tu really determine how much the cost to run the game. So when a certain threshold reach, kalau contoh macam ada tinggal 1,000 player, and then the player cannot the source income ataupun revenue daripada 1,000 player tu tak boleh dah sustain service tu, terpaksa dia orang akan shut down the game. That's how the live service. Sebab live service ni maksudnya apa yang player contohnya spend money ke apa untuk game, itu akan contribute kepada development that game, perkembangan game tu. So selagi ada player yang willing to spend money and then beli in-game punya items, so it adds to the coffer to move to add a new patch ataupun karakter ataupun seterusnya lah untuk game tu. So selagi ada player yang mampu sustain game tu dari segi income dan overhead untuk game service tu akan sentiasa berjalan.
I see. Okay. Alright. Thank you very much. Okay. Now, we're going to go into a little bit of more on the education side. Tapi kita akan bercakap dengan Dr. Dalan. Okay. First of all, apa yang very popular game engine yang pakai dalam industri currently?
Okay, first of all, Assalamualaikum, very good afternoon. Thank you to moderator, my colleague Adi Bunyamin, and also my student, sahabat saya ni, Silmi. Thank you for joining as well. And to all viewers, thank you for spending your time. Our future students at UniKL, insyaAllah, will be attending or joining our course for the new course of Bachelor of Computer Game Development, insyaAllah. Okay, now, before I talk about this game engine and so on, Silmi, I hope maybe you can add, boleh bantu saya nanti lah. I think because you are from the industry, I think you understand more. But if I can just share, Adi, but before that, I want to ask one thing to the moderator, Adi. And you said you like to play games. I think you prefer to play cats than games. And then, saya suka main kucing lah sini kan. Okay, tak apa. Okay, tak apa. Nah, this is a joke. But one thing that I noticed our moderator was mentioning just now was, Adi, if you don't mind, before I talk about the game engine,
Please.
I want our people to understand very well. This culture of game is very important in our country. Silmi, I think you agree that, right? You see,
Yes.
look at other countries like in Japan, in America, or other countries who are, they're globalizing in terms of the gaming industry. It's like, the passion of gaming is very, very strong. So we need to have that type of motivation. We need to cultivate our people. Dan kita kena memotivasikan masyarakat kita, adik-adik sekalian untuk main game daripada sekarang. Itu paling penting. Right? I think Simi, you will agree, right? And because
Yes, I really agree.
you see, the reason is something simple is like this. Kalau kita tak minat dengan benda ni, it's very difficult to understand the whole thing. So kalau kita nak jadi chef, kita nak, ini Adi suka masak kan. And Adi kan. So kalau nak jadi chef, you have to betul-betul minat masak. Betul tak Simi kan? Simi pandai masak spaghetti saya tahu. So you got to master. You have to be a person that put passion into that. Passion tu kena ada. If you want to become a good footballer, then you have to be good player. Start from small, train yourself to become footballer, main bola, tengok bola dan sebagainya. So now game sama juga. It's the same thing. You have to start playing game from now. That's one of the rules. Yes, and I don't know about some parents sometimes say, don't play games. And Silmi, ada parents kata jangan main game lah. Yang kata susah ni kerana risau anak saya tak main. No, it's not that way basically. Because games, if you study from the psychology of it, has a lot of benefit. A lot of positive side of it, and that is why you see a lot of countries today, they are using game as an industry, as an economic growth, including Malaysia. Nanti kalau ada masa nanti Adi saya akan cerita sikit macam mana industri game di Malaysia ni sedang membangun dengan pesat and these are all basically under the creative content and nobody expected today Malaysia is one of the giants in doing animation who can do good qualities like almost like Hollywood and so on, betul tak Adi kan? So it shows that kalau dah industri animasi boleh, kenapa industri game pun tak boleh Adi? Like Silmi, right? And we are proud today. Our friend here Silmi is working with Sony. So Sony datang ke Malaysia So satu kebanggaan dan itu membuktikan apa? Membuktikan bahawa our economy di Malaysia sekarang ni dah berpaksikan pada game. Later, if I got time, I'll share you with some details on that idea. Now, going back to that question just now regarding the game engine and so on. So if you talk about game engine, I just like to explain in terms of the the definition of it. Because when you guys going to learn game engine ni, game engine ni adalah pemangkin. Same ya, I think that's the right word. Dia adalah pemangkin, where it provides a platform where you can assemble all your assets, your libraries, and everything can be done inside there. It's a software. And it's a software that allows you to assemble the whole game production. I put it that way lah. Okay, so I think that's the simple understanding. Okay, because if you do animation, you have to use softwares like Maya, Blender, and so on, and then you go into the composition using After Effects and Premiere and so on. But in game, it's a bit different. Okay, you have maybe your 3D softwares and so on, and then later you will come back to the engine. At the end, the engine will be there, and then the assets and the libraries, and I think the mechanics of it will be all inside the game as well. So sebenarnya game engine ni adalah pemangkin, is a vital platform of software that allows you to construct your game. And one of the most famous what we call it game engine that is very popular is of course Unity and also Unreal Engine. There are many more others, but the very popular one, similar, I think the ones that are very popular, we can say, meaning that it's very common use, commercialized and so on. So Unity and Unreal will be the most famous what we call it game engine. And so even I had experience using Unreal when I did my game first person shooter using wayang kulit characters and so on. So we use Unreal Engine. That was Unreal 4 at the time, and so yeah, it was very interesting to use that. I think that's a bit on the question you asked.
All right.
Okay.
Yes, pretty much, pretty much. Thank you. Actually,
Okay,
it's
sure.
quite spot on. Because like you mentioned, other game engines ada banyak, and in the
Hmm.
industry they use a lot of different ones, and but actually here's the setup. That's the reason why I asked you the question, so that people can understand better more pasal
Hmm.
game engine, and doing the game design. Then for as our program coordinator untuk bachelor in game development ni, um, nak tanya, like, what is kita orang punya setup for the students untuk belajar kat sini, and I mean, like, what are uh, the resource yang ada untuk, dan how does it help them to get into the industry basically.
Yeah, thank you, Adi. Because I remember when we set up this course, and there was a lot of industries were giving a lot of feedbacks. We also did market study, market survey, and so on, and we try to find the difference or the niche of it. So I think the most important thing here is to see how our graduates have a proper environment for them to develop the game. Tak, same ya. I think yourself in Sony, so it's the same thing. You have a very conducive and like environment, right? And to do your
Yes.
work and so on. So it's the
Hmm.
same thing as well, because we want the students to have a very conducive environment in learning, and of course with a good what we call it software and hardware that will support the game development program. But and if I can add one more thing, Adi, is our main target here is to engage our students, our program with the industry as close as possible, as how we did with animation, right? Adi, it's the same
Yeah.
thing. I think that's our philosophy that we use that, because we are coming from a technical university, as one of the leading and pioneer in technical university. So we do need the industries, engagement and so on. So we are working very closely with the top industries in Malaysia, and also with some certain countries later on. And I believe that once this opportunity is being given, we can strengthen in many ways and so on. So I think that is one of the points that we are looking at. But plus the curriculum, the syllabus, everything has been well established in a way. So I think that's sufficient enough to justify.
Alright. Okay, thank you very much, Dr. D. Okay,
All right, sure.
before saya sambung kepada Encik Semi, ada soalan from viewers actually. Saya rasa saya boleh jawabkan soalan ni. Apakah kelayakan untuk sambung belajar dalam game design kalau baru lepasan SPM? Okay, kalau untuk nak masuk dalam kita punya bachelor in game design, of course, either boleh buat foundation dulu atau STPM, matrikulasi, ataupun any related diploma lah, macam diploma multimedia, animation, or probably IT, but I think maybe close one will be multimedia dengan animation pun boleh. Okay, sebab kena ingat because this is a degree program, so of course you will have to go through foundation dulu atau STPM lah. Dan juga
Dan
nanti boleh
adik kita kena tanya dia juga, dia minat tak main game sekali. Itu
betul.
salah satu kena.
Betul. Kena very passionate.
Sebenarnya dia kena main game juga tu kan.
Dia kena ada minat
tak
juga.
main
Passion
game,
dia kena.
Minat, yes, exactly. Yeah.
Dan juga boleh transfer credit of course bila dah masuk lah nanti. Hopefully boleh dapat and hopefully we'll see you here. So macam Dr. Dahlan cakap, if you want to do this, macam saya nak masuk animation sebab saya betul-betul minat tengok kartun kan. Sampai dah tua-tua pun kena barang kan, kenapa tengok kartun lagi. Dan macam itu kerja kan. So macam orang main, kalau nak buat game, you have to really betul-betul minat buat game
kan. Passion.
Okay, so
because I believe that because the game itself dia ada banyak genres and so on, and cinema, and dia ada banyak genre kan. And we talk about first person shooter, you talking about arcade, you're talking about MMORPG, RPS, so there are many genres that you have to understand. So and at the end, like what Silmi mentioned, when it comes to the game design, you need to know what's your mechanics, what is the rules of the game, and what is the objective of your game. So see, it comes back to the same thing.
Okay, alright, now I'm gonna sama balik kepada Encik Simi. Again back into dalam education atau game development programs kan, apakah specialized area dalam game development yang student boleh fokus untuk dalam program tersebut?
Untuk student buat untuk sekarang lah, banyak yang common yang demand dalam game development is ada 3 disiplin lah, which is, let me call it discipline lah because it's much more easier to explain here. One is coding, which is programming. So that is very sought after position, and then it make quite a lot of money lah actually dalam in terms of kalau kita bekerja, kita punya salary, and then it's quite versatile, kita boleh pergi ke mana-mana. And then another thing is kita punya focus is skill set is in art and design lah. Bila I cakap as art and design is, which is for example is myself, I focusing in art and design, which is I'm more focusing in that in modelling. So kat situ student boleh pilih lah dia nak jadi either concept artist ataupun 3D modelling. So itu semua merangkumi disiplin dalam merangkumi skop disiplin art and design. So untuk student yang baru nak masuk, yang future student lah, potential student yang akan belajar dalam course ni, so there's a 2 main branch that you can go. One is for programming side and another one is for more on the art side. So dalam art tu pula, dalam programming tu dia straightforward path lah. There's a few lah kita boleh masuk jadi dalam programming side. We can be either programmer, like pure programmer that handle development, or kita boleh jadi technical artist, which is kind of a bridge between art and programming. And then another discipline is art and design. Dalam art and design ada banyak branch yang kita boleh pergi. Is kalau minat melukis, minat on hands-on on 2D, boleh pergi kepada conceptual lah. Conceptual. And then if minat on 3D, you suka tengok contoh main PUBG, suka tengok senapang dia, suka tengok skin apa tu semua kan. Tengok macam mana orang tu mati ke apa kan. Macam kinda like fokus kat mana kita nak pergi. So boleh masuk 3D dan start belajar 3D. Dan dalam 3D pun ada few branch yang kita boleh pergi, sama ada characters ataupun environment. And then so dalam 3D pula pun tadi we back up a bit sikit sebelum masuk 3D. So dalam art and design ada conceptual, ada 3D, and now ada animation. Bukan now lah, memang sejak game development tu dia ada animation. So kalau minat animation, boleh juga join. Boleh fokus dekat situ untuk skill set tersebut. Tapi saya boleh cakap lah untuk animation dalam game, especially AAA title yang sekarang ni, most of them are using mocap system. So if you are willing to like learn or study about it, then go. This is highly sought after position also. Okay. So there's a few skill set that you can focus on to continue to entering this industry. Good.
Okay. So basically kalau katakan selain pada ni untuk potential students yang nak masuk game development and study, untuk students yang already tengah buat animation pun, they have a chance. Do they ada peluang lah untuk
Betul.
masuk game design as well.
Sebab macam saya daripada animation sendiri. Course saya bukan daripada game development. Tapi saya daripada animation. Saya boleh buat animation, tapi masa saya belajar tu passion saya more kepada game lah, sebab saya suka tengok macam mana the environment is being constructed. Saya rasa macam mana nak buat. Saya macam drive tu bagi saya is how they even do this world, how they do this environment. So passion, then I start asking myself, if they can do it, maybe I can do, then what step that I need to take. So daripada situ datanglah pergi ke belajarlah, sama belajar, jumpa ada tutoring ataupun dalam masa yang sama kita ada self learning sekarang kan. So that's a very versatile. Tak payah risau pun sebenarnya.
Okay, I mean it's very nice to know at least ramai yang because I know I'm sure macam Cik Simi pun belajar animation tapi really minat game juga kan. So but at least now kita orang UniKL sendiri dah ada game design program itself where it's more straightforward towards gaming lah. But I do believe both hand in hand boleh belajar together and then boleh pergi jauh and hopefully bring the Malaysia punya game industry naik lah kan, like how Dr. Dalan sebut tadi. Okay, maybe either Dr. Dalan atau Cik Simi boleh jawab this soalan. Okay, are there any local game events ke atau conferences, community yang students atau anyone boleh engage currently?
So untuk Cik Dalan, Dr. Dalan boleh jalan dulu. boleh terangkan.
Okay, because like I said, so now I think because since we are pioneering one of the this game in a way, so like when we did the market study at the end, you see in Malaysia not many universities are offering such programs and so on, but then after you do the market study, market survey, then you know that the Malaysian game industry is very, orang kata prominent, orang kata memberangsangkan, dan Malaysia as the hub in the game is also contributing towards the Southeast Asian region now. And Simi, I think you understand much more better in terms like indie games, banyak syarikat indie games yang buat dekat Malaysia sebenarnya yang ramai kita tak tahu. We're not talking about the giants lah, we're talking about even indie games pun they are contributing also. And the number of viewers, number of game players in Southeast Asia is huge, besar tau. Jumlah pemain game di Asia Tenggara ni banyak, and so millions already. So and that shows that why this game in the game program and game industry is very very crucial, and it's contributing towards the economy of the country. Okay, so I want to sentuh pasal event yang biasa event yang very famous in game. So far that we can notice is of course coming from MDEC, which is running under the Level Up lah. Okay, I think Level Up is the one of the, we call it like a platform again, which provides a lot of opportunities, for us to engage, to attend conferences, to listen to latest industry partners coming and so on. So I think this one will be happening somewhere on the 27th to 30th of September. Nama dia level up. Okay, level up. So you can attend and listen. And I do believe also, Adi, simi the game companies, animation companies also as well, because it comes under the creative content flagship.
Yep.
So dia akan join
Boleh
sekali
join.
dengan game
Boleh
dan
join.
sebagainya. Besar event ni. And so
Saya
we
memang
really
ada tiap-tiap tahun.
ha,
So kalau jumpa saya
memang ada
jangan
lah kan.
malu-malu, jangan segan-segan. Kita boleh duduk bincang.
So kita universiti pun akan ada, and I think adik-adik sekalian join lah, jom dan datang tengok sendiri. Dan orang kata kita melihat baru kita percaya lah kan. So you can see and talk and ask how the industry gaming is well. So I think that is one of the, and there are many more as well, but as I say, the big one is that's the best lah.
Hmm. So untuk I can add a bit lah. So
Alright.
there's a few event that happening like normally like twice a month or once a month. It depends on the venue lah. So dia ada satu event which is nama dia Game Jam. So Game Jam ni banyak universiti yang buat lah. Ada juga few of universiti akan buat atau which is kecilkan scope dia. Dia kan setiap universiti ada universiti yang buat dan boleh pergi tengok. And then boleh join. Even kalau rasa nak buat game, boleh buat game. Dia akan bagi contoh event dia akan bagi masa 48 jam dan came up with some kind of prototype of game. Dan kita boleh buat kat situ. Kadang-kadang macam boleh tidur. Dia akan provide tempat tidur, showering, everything lah. So kita boleh camping kat situ untuk buat satu game dalam masa 48 jam. So tu one of the challenge lah. And then there's baru-baru ni dah baru lepas dia Global Game Jam which is the whole Malaysia punya event. So kat situ pun boleh participate, boleh join macam event kat situ which is mainly akan buat game. Dan korang juga you all can still mingle around then creating network or talking then with them. Then there's one more that I always join is Game Dev Hangout. So Game Dev Hangout is normally hosted by IGDA which is some NGO that normally happen in Bangsa. The Bangsa South, the new area behind in front of the telecom there, the Menara TM. So normally is happen there. So banyaklah dekat Game Dev Hangout tu nama pun Hangout, so you all boleh datang and chit chat with the game developer and then try their games. Masa tu memang akan ada hampirlah lebih daripada 10 lah rasa-rasa game company akan join untuk orang kata soft launch dia punya game, bagi orang try dulu. So masa tu macam dia akan jumpa developer game daripada company lain akan try game dia. So dia akan bagi kritik, kita akan bincang what can be improved, this is good, like something like that. Then so there's two event that you guys can watch out for if you interested in this. Okay, I think GDA is a twice a month event kind of event. Then Game Jam is normally happen. Then you guys can search on Facebook and see where's the Game Jam, which area that they are hosting it. Okay,
Oh, sangat menarik. I mean, kita selalu dengar pasal level up, but this is something out of my scope because jarang bercakap dengan orang game developer semua, but now to know that in Malaysia itself ada this kind of thing where it can benefit, I think a lot of people, orang baru nak belajar ke atau even people who already creating games and stuff, and connect with the industry and the development of game itself. Kita punya dekat Malaysia ni kan, so Game Jam dengan Game Dev.
Game Dev Hangout.
Game Dev
Game Dev Hangout dia akan normally akan hosted by IGDA Malaysia.
Okay.
Game Jam is normally like hosted by any like university, like any university or some maybe part of people's lah. There's a more private type of it's a public but it's hosted privately, like some few universities collab with each other to create a game jam.
Right. Okay,
It's a fun activity.
We'll definitely keep that in our potential maybe satu hari kita UniKL pun boleh buat game jam.
Yes,
Betul tak Dr.
it's
Dalan?
good. It's good.
No,
Okay,
I think we can
yeah.
even send our students later for SEA Games. Because SEA Games pun ada game. Betul tak Zilmi kan? SEA Games pun ada pertandingan Sukan Asia Tenggara pun ada pertandingan
Okay.
game. So what does it? You can see already kan daripada tu.
It's a very big prospect because
Boleh
all
prospect,
the
ya.
years we always talk about admission, but maybe in our part kita jarang juga cakap pasal game development. So one of our few last question actually for Cik Simi juga, apakah the potential career path untuk kalau graduates of this development game kat Malaysia ni, where can they go or what kind of positions diorang, lah, maybe to the sampai dari bawah sampai ke atas ke?
So, okay, untuk soalan ni lah. So, there's a lot of potential career path actually untuk siapa yang masuk game development ni. So, locally, if your discipline is more on art and design, then you can boleh jadi 3D modeler, environment artist, which is the person who create the all the asset for the games, kan? Asset-asset yang dalam game. Apa yang asset ni maksudnya apa-apa yang nampak dalam game tu, orang ke, rumah ke, senjata ke, peluru ke, ayam ke, kan? So kalau disiplin pergi ke arah art and design, boleh pergi jadi modeler, kan? Ataupun conceptual, boleh yang suka melukis tu boleh pergi ke konsep. Okay, saya boleh saya suka buat konsep untuk karakter, contohnya saya suka buat lukis karakter. Okay, boleh join concept team, dan di situ dia orang akan develop lah more to the specific level lah. And then there's another thing that student can be is programming side lah. Programming is highly sought after, even bukan dalam game je lah, sebab skill ni sangat broad. Programming skill adalah sangat broad. So kalau boleh program, boleh buat programming, so the door is open and the sky is the limit. So untuk game, kita boleh fokus kepada development, which is there's a few things like macam saya cakap games punya programming, macam saya cakap character artist, technical artist. Technical artist dia akan fokus kepada creating tools, buat tools untuk software lah, untuk software yang berkenaan dengan game. Ataupun boleh pergi jadi back-end programmer yang handle server, network, and then there's a career path you can choose lah.
Okay. I think it's depending on apa dia orang minat lah kan, passion dia in game itself, because there's so many aspect in
Tapi Adi, if you don't mind, kalau saya boleh saya nak sentuh sikit boleh Adi, just a bit lah, tambah sikit lah.
Silakan.
Okay, adik-adik sekalian, pada penonton, kami di sini UniKL ni mengharapkan adik-adik sekalian kan, when you join UniKL dalam kursus ni, okay, what we want to see is basically, you see, we want to see the content, the idea. Like Silmi, kita nak tengok idea. You see, kalau kita tengok game-game yang adik-adik pernah dengar seperti Final Fantasy, pernah main kan Final Fantasy kan, pernah main God of War, Far Cry, Half-Life, and I mean, see, this kind of games, it involves a lot of high imagination, termasuk Death Stranding. Dan it involves a lot of high imagination and so on. So, apa yang best ni, bila adik-adik nanti, kalau diberi peluang dan masuk ke UniKL nanti dengan khusus game ni, kami nak tengok adik-adik sekalian ni, kalau boleh, orang kata, kita go all out untuk mempromosikan kita punya own identity kita. Adi, you know what I mean? Example lah, hikayat Mirong Mahawangsa ke, yang kita boleh buat style macam God of War kan, for example, you know. So I mean, you know, trust me now, if you get the right content, you get the right direction, you will create a very fantastic game, and the international people will recognize it very easily. And because macam mana kita boleh recognize Final Fantasy tu best, macam tu kita boleh buat. So point dia adalah game apa yang kita nak buat sebenarnya. Walaupun Simi dah sebut tadi all the technical thing, it goes back to what game that you nak produce. Itu point dia. Jadi saya rasa itulah sedikit nak share dengan Adi lah on that part basically.
Okay. On that note to Dr. D juga. Okay,
Ah,
since cakap pasal your punya passion, bila when students belajar kat sini for
hmm,
BGT,
hmm.
what kind of skills like or what kind of degree diorang boleh expect to get when they come out here, so dia bila keluar. Are there
In
any
terms of
specific?
their skill, yeah,
Yeah,
in terms of their
yeah.
skill, yeah. I mean, yeah, like I said, it's not because what when Silmi was mentioning about the pre-production side, I think that's very crucial. That's a crucial part. So bahagian pre-production tu, that's where you're going to create the game. What is the game? What is the title of the game? What is the direction of the game? What is the rules of the game? Everything will start from there. Before you talk about the engine, before you talk about the software too. So we train you here in UniKL. Of course, we are going to train you on that basis because we want to make sure that you have the ability, to create orang kata unique type of games, the games that can be very popular, and people will really understand, the challenge and everything is there. So yang itu kita nak tu. And then like Cinema sebut lah the map, nak tengok map yang macam mana kan, like you guys pernah main Dota kan, sama juga kan, kenapa Dota best kan. So kalau ada dia pernah main game daripada StarCraft dan sebagainya, so you understand why. So it's the same thing, no. It's just that you need to know what game that you need to develop. So we're going to train you on that, and then of course all the other technical aspects of it. Once you get that thing right, we will train the students in terms of the technical skills, lah. Right? Especially on the engine side, on the physics side, on the map side, and collision, whatever you say in the game, or assets and everything, your coding, source code, everything will be coming in. It's just like, it's just something similar to animation. Dan Simi dengan Adi pun pernah belajar animation kan. Is it the most important thing is what? The storyline. Yeah, because if you want your animation to be successful, you have to have a good storyline through, right? And then you have a good technical or good understanding in your cinematography or your technical skill. Sama juga dalam game. What game are you going to develop? Nak hasilkan game apa? So kalau dapat game yang best, pastinya dia akan jadi sangat popular dan tertarik the bomb lah. Itulah dia. Okay, itu cerita dia. Right.
Alright, I think macam with all courses lah, again kita orang nak iterate that with animation, game, you have to be passionate. Kena sangat-sangat passionate. You have to be really like, what do you want to do? Apa yang macam Dr. Dalan cakap, what do you want to do? What kind of game you want to develop? There's so many kinds of game that many people, each person is their own kan. Semua orang masing-masing ada minat yang berbeza. Then what kind of really good game can you come out in those different genres kan? It's RPG ke, or sports game ke, or all those banyak current new games that people are playing now, which is again very importantly, siapa yang untuk adik-adik kat luar tu, be really passionate, bersungguh lah that you really want to do this, because inshallah it will come true. Maybe you'll be one of the first few people yang buat very game yang terbesar, or very very great game dari benda kecil sampai boleh jadi besar. I believe so. Sebab animation kita dah nampak pun. We all have the skills. Malaysians memang semua ada skill untuk buat produce this kind of wonderful things. Okay, I think we're almost towards the end of our show, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, I know maybe Dr. D and then lepas tu baru Cik Simi, we give Dr. Dalan dulu any words of wisdom yang boleh atau nak menyanyi ke?
Hai, jangan tu. Aduh. Okay lah. Saya tak ada lah. I mean, saya dibesarkan with this game environment from small. I remember during those days sini kita main Nintendo, Sega, Atari. I managed to touch and remember until today. So and even my kids also, I anak-anak saya pun saya galakkan diorang main game. Saya wajibkan diorang main game sekurang-kurangnya 5 minit ke setengah jam sehari. Kena. It has to. Because you need to stimulate your brain. Ni he has to stimulate. Dia kena stimulate your brain. Kalau tak nanti kita pasif tau, tak boleh. Kan kita perlu main game ni. You have to. Rakan-rakan lain, orang-orang dewasa ni, please dengar betul-betul. Main sekejap tak apa. Main lah. Tak boleh main Pac-Man sekejap ke, Mario ke, tak apa. Kan? Jadi at least you play, because once you have that type of passion, then you will start to understand very well. When you go into the class or learning game, no, things will be much more easier for you. Because you have that passion, like Adi mentioned even just now. Alright. So inshallah, we hope to see you in UniKL, inshallah. Right. That's all, Adi. Thank you.
So the last word of wisdom lah. Saya tak sekejap. Double plug sound.
Kita
Okay.
thank you very much Dr. D. Now kepada Cik Silmi lah, any words of wisdom kepada potential future game developers kita di Malaysia ni.
Untuk word of wisdom lah. Saya nak kongsi sikit lah pasal statistik. Ramai yang orang ingat macam buat game art, kerja dalam art industri ni income tak menarik, income kecil kan, compare dengan engineers ataupun arkitek ataupun doctors and everything like that kan. So actually kita ni ialah as a artist, kita ni part of professional punya job jugalah sebenarnya. So saya share kat sini, so saya tak tahu mungkin ramai kat sini pernah dengar, audience pernah dengar tentang satu game ni, Genshin Impact kan, Genshin Impact, betul. So Genshin Impact is just like a 2D games, not 2D games lah, 2D rendered 3D rendered 2D games. So it's more stylized side lah. So untuk just give a big perspective lah. So game Genshin Impact ni sudah 4 tahun lah. Dia release 2020 dan sekarang dah di 2023. So untuk revenue dia sahaja daripada game Genshin Impact ni is by the time tahun 2022, which is last year, total revenue is around 1.9 billion dollar. Billions. And then there's another title which is produced by the same studio that created Genshin Impact, which is Honkai Star Rail. This is much more crazy. Within the 4 months of its release, and within the 4 months dia punya release, total dia dah count is around 116 million. 4 months. So just keep in mind that sekarang ni game industry is very lucrative. Okay, so semua orang ada phone and then really easy to access. Okay, then this is part of the experience so that I have a game dev team, right? They have 20 people inside, 20 people. Then currently they are generating revenue is around 300 USD, not 300, sorry, 300,000 USD per day. Okay, per day. So just imagine 20% can make games that generate that kind of money. Okay, so just bukan game as a game designer sekarang ni bukan leke-leke punya kerja lah. So kat Malaysia memang ada orang belum nampak lagi benda tu. So tapi siapa yang dah macam saya masuk dalam industri, saya dah nampak ni. So maybe lah standard lah, kita keluar universiti, kita freshie kan. So janganlah expect keluar minta gaji 6-7 ribu kan. We have to start somewhere, betul?
Exactly.
Dah. Maaf lah. So itulah, bila kita jadi masalah, bila persepsi kita kena ubah lah. So that's the last word for me. Final advice. So kepada yang risau, tak boleh buat duit, tak boleh makan, tak boleh hidup. Saya dah dalam industri dekat 10 tahun, dekat 12 tahun. Saya dah ada one loving wife, saya dah ada 3 kids. Semua orang saya boleh tanggung. Alhamdulillah. So fikirlah. It's a good choice.
I think thank you so much for bringing up, because I think this is a lot of concern for parents lah.
Betul.
Parents nowadays, because macam Cik Simu cakap, it's not something where macam kat US ke kat Jepun or Korea even or China, that it's something people are used to, that gaming is a profession, to do, to build games, to design games, to apa semua. So here orang tak nampak lagi sebab belum mungkin ramai, tapi alhamdulillah, with Cik Silmi ada, and then many others yang I know is already in game industry, yang apa can support family and make good money, inshallah, doing it. So I hope parents should not worry. So if their anak nak masuk game development, sila datang, please apply
Betul.
to our program, and hopefully they can be successful as well as our own alumni, Cik Silmi juga. Okay, so I would like to actually thank. Before that, any soalan before
Tak ada ni. So
tak
far
ada.
okay.
Okay, so no problem, Cik Sumi. Apa? Kita pun right at the end. Memang
Just nice lah. Yeah.
just nice.
Minta
So
maaf lah ya.
tak ada masalah. Kita yang nak berterima kasih banyak tu for you to give your time to actually sit and talk with us about your experience in the game development, especially for someone from Sony PlayStation Studio Malaysia. It's a really big deal for us to have you here. And again, thank you so much for being here, and also thank you very much to Dr. Dalan for his time as well on this show. So hopefully, yang listeners out there atau adik-adik yang berminat, please come and look for us in UniKL for this new bachelor's in game development program. Okay, so again, I'm your host and moderator for today, Adiz Azamin. Hopefully, we'll see you guys again. Alright, thank you very much. Assalamualaikum.
Okay,
So,
salam.
thank you Adi. Thank you Cinema. Thank you
Okay,
everyone.
thank you.